excited. I'm hopefully going to get this through. I've tried to record this a couple times already, and it just, I don't know, this app, I don't know, maybe I exit out of it and it doesn't save it. Sorry for the little string, but I just wanted to show you guys too real quick. Valentine's balloon, almost a month old, and it is still going. That's awesome. The sun is shining. Look how bright. Oh my gosh. Need some sunglasses in my room. Sitting in my room in my prayer chair and just spending time with you guys, spending time with God. We're on chapter 30 again. This is the second time I'm trying to record it. And we're learning about, right? So Leah became pregnant and gave birth to another son. She named Judah, for she said, now I will praise the Lord. And then she stopped having children. So now we're on chapter 30, the continuation of Jacob's many children. Oh, so I'm so glad that you guys got to spend time with me. Church was awesome yesterday. It was stinking thanking. Look at that word. The stinking thanking. It was awesome. It's so much fun. Started a new client today. There's not much going on. We're just going to get into it. I'm the devotionals, man. OMG, the devotionals. They're just getting better and better and better, right? Oh my God. Please read, listen to these devotionals. That's amazing. They're so great. Look at my hair, looks so blonde. Anyways, when Rachel saw that she wasn't having any more children for Jacob, she became jealous of her sister. Rachel became jealous of Leah, right? Oh, this is a good one, right? So she pleaded with Jacob, give me children or I'll die. Then Jacob became furious with Rachel. Am I God? He asked. He's the one who has kept you from having children. Then Rachel told him, take my maid Bilhah, right? So they're giving their husbands, their maids, to have children. Why is that? Can somebody explain that to me? Because that is not what you're supposed to be doing, right? Take my maid Bilhah and sleep with her, and she will bear children for me. And it says, Hebrew bear children on my knees. Which I don't understand, right? So Bilhah will bear children on my knees, and through her I will have a family too. I don't understand. Because they don't take the babies from the women, right? So how? Like, I know it's like a family thing. You take her as a husband, wife, and then now, you know, you have help to raise your children, but I don't understand. So Rachel gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as a wife, and he slept with her, right? So this is what I've been saying. Husband and wife. They didn't have a ceremony, didn't have anything. She said, here, sleep with her, make her your wife too, right? Have children so we can have a family. Bilhah became pregnant and presented him with a son. Rachel did name the son, right? Rachel named Bilhah's son Dan. She named him Dan, which means he judged or he vindicated. For she said, God has vindicated me. He has heard my request and given me a son. Then Bilhah became pregnant again, right? And gave Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, which means my struggle. She said, I have struggled hard with my sister and I am winning. How? Meanwhile, Leah realized that she wasn't getting pregnant. Now, Leah's not getting pregnant anymore, right? So she took her servant Zilpah, Zilpah, and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Again, gave her as a wife. What do you think happened, right? Soon Zilpah presented him with another son. Oh my goodness. Leah named him Gad. So they are naming the children. They're not taking them. They are naming them and helping them raise it, right? Raise these boys. That's a lot of boys. Gad means good fortune. For she said, how fortunate am I? Then Zilpah gave Jacob a second son, and Leah named him Asher. And Asher means happy. First she said, "What joy is mine? Now the other woman will celebrate with me." One day during the wheat harvest, Reuben, right, the son of one of the sisters, Rachel, Reuben found some mandrakes growing in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Oh, sorry, it was Leah's son. So Rachel begged Leah, right? Rachel, the youngest, begged Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." But Leah angrily replied, "Wasn't enough for you to steal my husband? Now you're stealing my son's mandrakes too." But technically, she didn't steal her husband. Technically, the father gave the oldest, gave the husband, right? He did. That wasn't true. Right? Wasn't it enough for you to steal my husband? Now will you steal my son's mandrakes too? Rachel answered, "I will let Jacob sleep with you tonight if you give me some of the mandrakes." So she's paying for her husband with oranges. Really? So that evening, as Jacob was coming home from the field, Leah went out to meet him. "You must come and sleep with me tonight," she said. "I paid for you with some of my son's mandrakes I've paid for you with some mandrakes that my son found." So that night he slept with Leah. And God answered Leah's prayer. She became pregnant again and gave birth to a fifth son for Jacob. She named him Issachar. Sounds like the Hebrew term that means reward. For she said, "God has rewarded me for giving my servant to my husband as a wife." And I don't think that that's accurate. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's not true. But that's the way that she was thinking. That's her thought, train of thought, is that God, I gave her the servant to have a baby. They had a baby, and then now God is granting me with a baby, right? Then Leah became pregnant again and gave birth to a sixth son for Jacob. She named him Zebulun. Probably means honor. For she said, "God has given me a good reward. Now my husband will treat me with respect, for I have given him 6 sons." You think babies make husbands respect their wives? Later, she gave birth to a daughter and named her Dinah. Then God remembered Rachel's plea and answered her prayer by enabling her to have children. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. "God had removed my disgrace," she said, and she named him Joseph. And Joseph, where to go, means "may he add." For she said, "May the Lord add yet another son to my family." So Jacob's wealth increases. Now that he had all these sons, that's a lot, right? Jacob's wealth increases, right? This is fun and interesting. I want to know this too. This is like, whoa. Soon after Rachel had given birth to Joseph, Jacob said to Laban, "Please release me," right? So the father-in-law, he was still working for the father-in-law. He said, "Release me so I can go home to my own country. Let me take my wives and children, for I've earned them by serving you. And let me be on my way. You certainly know how hard I've worked for you. Please listen to me," Laban replied. "I have become wealthy and it says, I have learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because of you. Tell me how much I owe you. Whatever it is, I will pay you," right? So Jacob replied, "You know how hard I've worked for you and how your flocks and herds, excuse me, have grown under my care. You had little before I came, but your wealth increased enormously. The Lord has blessed you through everything that I have done," right? But now, what about me? What about me? When is it my turn? When can I start providing for my own family, right? That's all he wants to do. Is he did his wages 14 years plus more, right? So what wages do you want? Laban asked. And Jacob said, do not give me anything. Just do this one thing, and I will continue to tend and watch over your flocks. Why do you think that he stayed? Instead of giving wages, he stayed. Do you think God told Jacob how to increase his wealth? How to, how, this works? How do you feel? How did you think? I want to know how he knew what to do and how to do it, right? So he said, let me inspect your flocks today and remove all the sheep and goats that are speckled and spotted along with all the black sheep. Give those to me as my wages. In the future, when you check the animals you have given me as my wages, you'll see that I have been honest. If you find in my flock any goat without speckles or spots or any sheep that are not black, you will know I've stolen them from you. How does he know this, and what is the significance about it? The speckled and spotted and black sheep. Significance, I don't know, but I know it's something, right? So it's something. All right, Laban replied, it will be as you say. But that very day, Laban went out, right? Laban went out and removed all the male goats that were streaked and spotted, all the female goats that were speckled and spotted, and white patches, and all the black sheep. He placed them in the care of his own sons, who took them a 3 days' journey. So it was right there, 30. It's got a little thing there, but it's not saying. Okay, who took them on a 3 days journey from where Jacob was. Meanwhile, Jacob stayed and cared for the rest of Laban's flocks. So he gave this, Laban gave it to the brother. I forget who's the brothers. There's so many names, too many names. I'm bad with names as it is. You guys already, if you're following, you know I am so bad with names. Oh, how am I supposed to remember all these? I remember Rachel, Leah, Laban, and the son. So the boy took him 3 days journey from where Jacob was to, right? So Jacob still had to tend to the unspeckled, unspotted flocks that were there, right? So Jacob came. How did he know? I want to know, how did he know, right? Who took him 3 days journey. Jacob stayed and cared for the rest of Laban's flocks. Then Jacob took some, look at branches, right? Fresh branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and peeled off strips of bark, making white streaks on them. I wondered that too. When my cat had her babies, who determines the colors of the animals? How do you know? Like, there's 3 cats. I have a black and white one, a black one with like very little orange. When she was born, she looked all black. And then as she's getting older, it's a little bit more orange and black. And then I have one that looks just like her mother. Like, who determines these? That's awesome, right? But the branches, to think to put the branches, right? Fresh branches from all these trees, right? So they peeled off the strips of bark, making white streaks on them, right? Then he placed these peeled branches in the watering troughs where their flocks came to drink. For that is where they mated. They mated at the watering trough, so they went to go get food and water and, made babies. And when it was mating in front of the white streaked branches, they gave birth to young that were streaks, speckled and spotted from the branches in the water. Water is important for what you're drinking, so pay attention to what you're putting in your body. But this is crazy, right? Jacob separated the lambs from the Laban's flocks. Those lambs from Laban's flocks. And at mating time, he turned the flocks to face Laban's animals that were Laban's animals that were streaked or black. This is how he built his own flock instead of increasing Laban's. How did he know? Oh, whenever the strong females were ready to mate, Jacob would place the peeled branches in the watering trough in front of them. Then they would mate in front of the branches. But he didn't do this with the weaker ones, so the weaker lambs belonged to Laman, and the stronger ones were Jacob. As a result, Jacob became very wealthy with large flocks of sheep, goats, female and male servants, and many camels and donkeys. How did he know? The goats, the donkeys, and the camels. Sheep, goats, camels and donkeys. And female and male servants. Why are they adding that into the flocks? But like, how? How did he know to put those kind of branches into the water so it would increase his wealth? Did God tell him? How did he know? So we're just going to read the footnote really quick with Rachel. And Rachel was Jacob's beautiful cousin, the younger of Laman, who lived, remember this is the one that he was originally wanted, and then he would trick Leah, right? So Rachel was Jacob's beautiful cousin, the younger daughter of Laman, who lived in Haran. As soon as Jacob met her, he fell in love and asked to marry her, offering to work for Laman for 7 years as the bride's price. Can you imagine working for your wife for your father-in-law, so you can get your wife for 7 years? So you're there with her, not your wife until after the 7 years, right? And Jacob got 2 wives, not one. He got Leah, Rachel's sister, before Rachel herself, right? In Genesis 29, which we already read. So Rachel was strong-willed and came into conflict with Leah when the latter bore Jacob 4 sons, while she herself remained unable to have children. 6 more sons would follow to Leah, and 2 servants before Rachel finally bore Joseph, then Benjamin, during whose delivery she died. And that's not going to be till chapter 35. That's really sad. She's going to die giving birth. I don't like that. So we see also Jacob's family tree showing the tribes of Israel, page 35. Which we already believe. Yeah, that was that. We went over already. And then Jacob and Esau on page 40, which we're getting into. So excited. That's chapter 30. And yay! Thank you for spending time with me. We'll be back here for chapter 31. Jacob flees from Laman. Laman pursues Jacob. And then the treaty, Jacob's treaty with Laman. Very exciting. Very excited. I love you guys, and thank you for spending time with me. I'm going to go beautify myself, maybe put my billboard on, and get ready for the day. I love you, and I'll see you back here soon for chapter 31. Be good. Have a great day. I love you. God loves you. Mary Kay me. Great specials going on this month, so mwah, love you. See you back here.